Matches, that's fights, operations. Now, this is operations. This is like a daily operation. When you start a mission each day, it'll give you points down here. It's like a, well, I don't know, it's like an emblem that comes up with how many points, and it'll put you on the scoreboard. Now, as you can see here, you need to get in to here. If you get into, I think if you're here, if you do the event, you'll get the money, and this changes each time you do it. Each day you move on to the next one, and these rewards will change. This will be like 15k or something to start with, or 10k. That'll be like a few hundred knowledge on this one, and each time it goes up it gets higher and higher until you get to here, and I think it stops. You don't get any argents anymore, something like that. But as you can see, this was yesterday's event, which we did, and if you get, I think it's if you do this, if I'm correct in that, you get these two. You'll see, because you'll get a little tick each time you progress. If you get in the top 15, you'll get this one, top 15, right there. If you get in the top 8, you get this one, so you get another 350. These are well worth getting if you can get them. Now, we had a tough one yesterday. We actually, well, we came out on top, but 500,000 points, that's a lot of points. It's a lot of work. And I will show you the quickest way. Go here, and you go here, and if you go to adventure list, that one, that's the priority mission, because it's got this, it actually says priority there. Do those, you'll get a lot more points. In fact, stick with those. You know, you can do some of the big invasions, solo stuff, you get a lot of points, but if you want to get points, do those missions. They'll give you much more than just doing a random mission. And that's the way to get yourself up on the scoreboard on the daily operations. Now I'm lost. Yeah, so that'll get you up there, that'll get you those, progresses you, you'll rank up. When you rank up, you'll get argents and different things, so personal progress, actually we're almost about to rank up, I think. So I might do another one today, we'll see. So that's the way, that is a way to get argents as well. Although you are competing, although it's not against everybody, they'll be in your groups, like there's separate groups, so it's not too difficult. Even just to get in here, like I said, I'll give you an extra 300 of those. That's just stats, I wouldn't worry about this too much. It seems to be a bit all over the place at the moment. This is when you fight, it'll tell you who's top DPS and all the rest of it. But like I say, at the moment, it shows people that are top DPS that are literally like the lowest strength in that, but it depends what class you're using in that. Basically, if it used to be the case, if you were a witch, all you had to do was throw a curse or something and it gave you top DPS. I mean, it was, you know, even if somebody was fighting away, one curse and they had top DPS, so don't worry about the stats too much. Some people go by them all the time saying, oh yeah, look at me, I'm great, or I'm worst, why am I so bad? It's, you know, in the end it doesn't necessarily make you the best player just because you've got the top stats. Well, that sounds like a weird thing to say, but you know, you could be the top DPS and your whole team's dead. And this is just your settings and that, whatever you want to do. Right, let's go back here. And the missions. So, when you start this game, you will start over... Let's just do that, much easier. Right, you'll start over here. So, this will be your first mission. It's pretty simple. I mean, when you're low ranked, yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky, maybe. But you'll get through these pretty quick. So basically, you do these missions one by one. When you bring a mission up, when you do it for the first time, it'll put you down, well, actually lower than that, because there's several layers of this. So you'll do the mission, and then next time it'll get harder. Each time it gets harder. You don't need to do that difficulty. You can click on this, and you can click, what are we on, 2.5, we're on this one at the moment, so you can click that one, and you can see the colour changes to green to show you it's easy, and you can do that one again if you want. it's fine to go through these. Once you get to here, if I complete this one, then I'll jump onto another map which is even harder, but as far as I know you can't come back to these. So don't go and do a god mode on that and put yourself into that high bracket, because if you need to like do this mission on a daily quest or something and you've put yourself in the very high bracket with a god mode, say, you're going to have to do an even harder mission and end up using a god to get through it, because you can't come back to those as far as I know. So be careful if you go to the top one that you don't jump into the next difficulty levels if you're not ready for it, because you get yourself in a bit of a mess. These are regions. You will have to go through these and do stuff. You just basically clear regions out, collect lots of stuff. This will be good for you when you're new, but to start with, if you want to get to your god mode, follow this line all the way through. This is Bastions. Bastions give you might, do they? Just trying to think. I think they give you a little bit of might when you go up on each one, but basically they give you stats again for different things. Like this is a big sword, I think. They are. I'll come out there in a minute. I'll show you those in a sec, if I can remember where they are. They're these stats. That's what they are. Yeah, basically Bastions, you receive quests. I won't click it now because I don't know which one I'm going to get. There'll be 4 quests that'll come up. Each one gives you might. You get 80 might, I think it is, for each quest. So that will give you might. So you do each one of those quests, and then the same thing happens. It'll push this up a little bit till eventually you get to here, and you will get this, which is critical damage is increased by 15%. Now in this map there are several, so click whichever bastion you want. Just look through them, which ones you're going to get, and then work on that one. You receive quests each day, you do the 4, it'll push it up, and do this each day till eventually you get it, and you'll be getting might at the same time, which will increase your prestige and all the rest of it. And like I said, there's one on each map, so once you've passed them, right, as a learner, if you go through the whole lot, you get the opportunity to do all of them. I think actually I'll show you the one we did yesterday, which is this one. Which was this one. It basically gives me an extra 5%. Damage is increased by 5%, whatever, for every DPS character that's around me, like friendly, within 40 yards. So if I stand close to my teammates, I'll do more damage. Now I've got 2 of these now, so it's actually 10%. So they can be really worth going for. And here's the... I actually haven't finished this one yet, but there you go. Look, you get might 80, 80. This one I've just got to finish. And this one, once this is finished, you'll have to wait a day and you'll get another one. You can only do one a day, so pick which one you want. You can't do like that one and the next one. You can only do one at a time, so be aware of that. Pick the right one. Let's go back to here. Right, these are your classes. This is the first ones you start off with, and this is where you develop your classes. Again, I think with the knowledge. I don't know, because I did all these before I got the update. So basically you'll develop each one of these classes. You get the buffs, things you can do, and that'll be, like I say, important when you're starting out. And you've got, once you move forward, you get each class through the maps. I don't know quite how it works, like I say, because I haven't followed this from the start, this new map, but I do know you have to follow that. How you get these, whether you can just get them randomly or whether you have to do each map to get these activated, I don't know. That's something you'll have to find out for yourselves when you play the game. And then you've got these, which are the sort of raids with groups. You'll see these in the chat all the time, where people asking for help. And that you'll need to get up to sort of 30-odd thousand prestige to be able to do these, or finish the campaign first. But once you've done that, you can do all this. This is available in 2 days, the flagship. That's going to be interesting, because I haven't done that one yet. I haven't even seen that one yet. Yeah, this is the invasion stuff. But like I say, you go through all this, and you just got to follow it right the way through till you get to the end. And then these again are, there's your test areas. That's the Pantheon one. That's the normal one. You just enter them through here. That's another region. that one we actually had a crack at. Oh no, it wasn't that one. It's a different one. Lundgren or something. There's a it's like a deathmatch thing, but nobody really plays it. That's the trouble. We had to actually get the Pantheon to join it to get enough people to actually play the thing. Right, this is your daily quest. You see it all here. You get daily stuff in this blue book here. We can activate this. So this is my daily quest stuff. I've got to go here and do something. I've got to go there and do something. I've got to go there and do something, and so on and so forth. Battle of Golems, I don't want to do that because this is a multiplayer thing and I can't bother to do that one. You can actually skip it for 2 of those. So basically I'd use up, you get 2 of these a day, these stims. So I'll use them up, just getting rid of that mission, but I won't bother with that now. I'll come back to that later. These are your invasions. Usually you go in groups of 3, 5 or 10 depending on what the invasion is. This just helps you out a little bit. I prefer the old map, to be honest. It's a little bit confusing so when I get sort of all over the place with this one. But so like I say, do these are important because they'll get you victors. Is it victors? You get 200 victors medals if you complete this a day, and that goes well on the way to getting your these things. Is it these things? No, not these things. Wrong one. These things. Yeah, so you can collect your victim. It'll take time, but if you keep collecting them. And another important thing, actually, I'm just trying to remember where it is. Let's go back here. Yeah, so let's go back to this Bastion thing. So these are your Bastions, and like I say, you'll gradually work through these, which will give you, like, this one throws out emblems when you're fighting a boss every so often when he loses some health, and they basically explode if you hit them, so you can do more damage. So when you're throwing, swinging your sword, you can run around into the ones that have come out, and it does more damage, and it can be very useful at times. You get other ones where you get a big sword, which you can do a huge amount of damage for just a few seconds, kind of thing. And there's various different ones, shields and all sorts. Now to get those, where those are, if I can remember, that's abilities. We want symbols. That's them here. They'll unlock here. You can see those ones we looked at just now here. Now we've got most of them again because we had the old game. So you pick which one you want to use. Like this is the one that throws out those like bombs, basically. That I don't know what that is. Emergency maneuver. Okay, that's just a dash. It doesn't consume energy, so you get an extra dash. Protective shell, that activates automatically every so often, which has saved my life a few times. Pain shock, that pops up every so often. You hit the E key and you do quite a bit of damage with that actually. Defense mode. Oh, that's my companion. Does something or another. That's the sword one. That brings up a big sword. There's a big hammer. It does even more damage. That's the sword. And that's a staff, which does something, but it's no use to me, that one. But you can see you've actually got 3 lots. You can set up. And that gets out of the way. You can actually set up 4 different ones. Reason being is some of this is more towards PvP. Plus, if you use a couple of different classes, some of this is more relevant to that class. So just pick which ones you want. That's the things you unlock in the whatever I just said, tower things. God, I can't remember the name. Bastions, that's it. Go back here. Right. Divine abilities, that just tells you what your ultimates do when you're in God form. Hyperion, this is a very important one. You lease these, they will cost you Victor's medals. They cost about 70 or 80 or something like that. This one, if you click this one or any of these 3, it will give you 25% more faith or your adepts will collect 25% more faith. That one is very useful to collect faith for your god mode, because you won't have enough for your god mode most of the time, because you'll use it for quite a few different things. Especially if you do solo stuff, quite often you'll need to be in god mode to get through the mission. So very important one to lease that to get 25% more. You don't have to if you're saving your medals, but I would advise that one. Other ones you can use, this is a shield which comes up on your god. I don't really use it, I've never had the need to at the moment. Well, once I think, when we were fighting something really tough. And there's... yeah, that one you can... I've never used that one, it's to do with adding more damage or something along those lines, but I've never bothered with that one. That one I do sometimes. That one, if you die in your god mode, it'll resurrect you and your health will go back up, and you'll get a second chance. Maybe if you've got a really tough enemy beating the hell out of you, even if you're trying to resurrect, you won't get enough health in time, you'll die. But it can bring you back to life and can save you. And I think it works when you're not in god mode as well. It'll activate when you die. It'll just, like I say, you'll get a second life. So that's always a good one. But again, you've got to pay Victor's medals. I don't have it all the time. I use it if I think we're in a tough one and I might need to come back to life. If we're doing an important mission or an invasion as a group, sometimes I use it. But that one definitely to get your faith. Companion, its abilities for it, that's just basic attack. That will pick up the loot for you, so you don't have to go around clicking on everything. That will revive you when you die. Not sure if it's in the middle of a match or at the end of the match. Never used it. So you can get these, but again they cost quite a bit to get, so I've never bothered. Your abilities, this is really good. You've got your PVE abilities and you've got your PVP abilities. So they are different, or can be different. And it's useful to have this basically. Keeps them separated, which is a blooming good idea, because originally you'd have had to change all your abilities around each time you played PvP or PvE, and it's fine if you only play one side of the game, but if you're playing both, it used to be a real pain in the ass. And I think that pretty much covers most of it. Hopefully I haven't missed too much, and hopefully most of my information was fairly accurate. It's not all going to be completely accurate. Let's just jump onto the mission thing again. I'll just show you. Best way to get to your missions is just go on that. I mean, you've got all this and all this and all this, but basically go there, click that, there's your missions, and use these bars here. So this is all sort of mostly single player stuff, or just general missions. They're all here, and you can see what they are, if they're easy, whether they're not so easy. Don't know if there's any really hard ones, probably not yet. That one there maybe. And you can see if it's a priority as well. Party ones. Now these missions here, that's not too bad. You'll go in as 10 man, that's 10 man, that's 10 man, and that is very difficult, and you need god mode for that really. If you're going to go in there, you want to be a god, even if they're in a group. And you need to know a bit what you're doing, otherwise you'll let the whole team down, because there's one boss that basically re-heals if he hits you. If you don't know what you're doing, the whole team can end up dying because of that. So don't jump into that one straight away unless you've got a bit of experience with it. And if you are going in there, make sure you've got some faith, because the amount of times we go into that mission and we ask people we need god mode, they all turn up and then nobody's got any faith, and it's like, well, we end up with one or two gods, they get killed and everybody loses because the people who joined didn't have faith. So make sure you've got faith. This one used to be quite tricky, the end boss. It's not too bad now, because there's pods which come up and respawn health to the main boss. Now you can destroy the pods, whereas before you had to pull the pods away. A lot of people didn't understand that and went in with their gods trying to kill it, and basically just died because they didn't pull the pods away. But they've changed that now, so you can actually destroy the pods, which I personally prefer, because I think the pulling away thing was a pain in the ass. It really was. Like I say, it was just annoying. That's why originally nobody used to play it. Now you have to play it to be able to get the whatever you call it, the emblem things to make you stronger. And this one, everybody plays this one. You see what you get here. You get deeds. You can get these. You won't necessarily get all these. You can get these. And different sort of strength. Now, again, you do actually have a difficulty setting. When you reach certain, I think this one I haven't. Yeah, see, I need 11,000 or 11 million, should I say, prestige to unlock the hard difficulty on this. So at the moment I've only got the easy one. Although I think this one I actually, yeah, it's red, so I've got the hard one on this. Although I haven't done hard yet, because I've only just got it basically. I think it's 9,000 and I'm just over 9,000 now. This is your invasions. These will turn up each time, each few weeks, because their invasions now are 8 weeks long, which I completely think is absolutely crap. I think that's far too long, and they should be down to 3 or 4 weeks tops, because 8 weeks, and that's 2 months. You can have the same ocean ads for 2 months before you get another class. You can't work on your other classes or other enemy, so you can't work on those other enemies, upgrading stuff and that against them for that long. And it's just far too long. Sorry, that's the one bit. If I ever quit the game, that's probably the main reason that I'll quit, is because it's 8 weeks now. Like I say, I wouldn't, you know, it used to be a week or 2, and like I say, you could get away with a month, but 2 months doing the same class? No. They say they do things, that they release stuff each time so it's not boring, but trust me, it gets boring being that long. And we're in what, I don't know what we're in now, week 2 or something like that, and you know, I'm alright still with it. I could go a week 3 and I could just about push a week 4. Once I get to week 4, I'm going to be looking at this thing, Jesus, we're doing the same crap. You know, they need to shorten that to 4 weeks. Unless they come up with a fantastic idea which makes it really interesting. Because they release these distortions each time as well, but you can't do them because they're too flaming hard. I mean, you need to get a whole team together to be able to do this. And the team has got to be organised. They've done it now so you can have random people, not just the Pantheon, joining. But if that team doesn't know what it's doing, and when I say when it doesn't know what it's doing, it only takes 1 or 2 people in that team to make mistakes, and then everybody fails. So, yeah, not too keen on it at the moment. Hopefully, like I say, they will have some easier ones, because again, it's no fun if you come into the game as a new player, and then you have to, you can't do any of this stuff because you're too weak, or you're too, you know, it'd be nice to have a few that are a little bit easier for the newer players, so hopefully they'll do that. I mean, I don't know, because we haven't seen them all, and if it takes 8 weeks for each invasion, then we're not going to know for what, a year? Or 6 months, so I don't know. No, it'd probably be a year actually by the time we've gone round to all the different types. So yeah, I think that 8 week thing, it just ruins it, and these making them so hard, I can understand some being hard, they should get progressively harder, but you've got to have some that the newer players can do as well, otherwise the newer players are just going to get fed up with the game and leave. But I hope they realise that and do something about it. So yeah, these are all your missions. That one we just looked at, didn't we? Yep. Okay. Again, this other one. These are all group stuff. That's a new one. If you're a new player, I wouldn't necessarily jump straight to that one because it's incredibly hard. I've done it several times. I've done it solo, but it's got bears in it, and bears, for me, the bears will, if they hit me about 4 times, I think, or 5 times, it will kill me, even at 9 million prestige. So that is an incredibly hard one. If you're going in with that new, go with friends, go as God, go as 2 gods even, and watch out for the bears. Just avoid the bears if you can, or they will destroy you. This one everybody plays as well. That's okay. It's fairly tough till you get to the last boss, and you've got to be very careful with the last boss. And yeah, you'll basically do all these. Again, that one, you need to go as a decent group. That one's fairly hard, but not too bad. And there's your Ingar tests again. I've never done that one, so, because it's like 5 man, but there's never anybody plays it, so. And that thing, that that's just practicing really. It'll probably send you on that when you first start at some point. These are the regions. These are great big areas which you can go through, killing monsters, doing storyline, all the rest of it. I really like these places. They're, I mean, just the design of them and that, I think is fantastic. They're really intriguing places to go. So go and explore. This sort of stuff you do on your own. I mean, you can go with your friends if you want, but yeah, you run around exploring those worlds. That's just separating more of that. That's your multiplayer stuff. That's what we did yesterday, longer and research base. That's like a deathmatch kind of thing. That's 10v10. There's various things like capture the flag. Never done that. And that's 3 versus 3. Basically deathmatch but in groups of 3. There you have it. That's pretty much covers all of that. So hopefully you'll be able to find your way around it. And like I say, what will change in the future, we have no idea. But these, like I say, for anybody wanting to get their prestige up, you want these, which means you've got to go and do missions to get them. Just look on the map, it'll tell you what you get, but you need these. These will significantly boost your prestige. So you have to go and do the missions that give you these things. And it'll boost, like I say, boost up. But there is a catch. That those missions that you do, they will only drop some of the missions once a day, the decent loot. Once you've done it, you won't get any decent loot if you do the mission again. You have to wait for the next day. So it kind of restricts how much you get. So that is to do with getting that up and getting your might up. Your might is up here. That's very important. So you can boost this and your might doesn't go up that much. We've seen that. And people have got really high prestige. And you go into a battle with them and they're rubbish. They can't fight. So get these. That gets that up. And like I say, that one will give a little bit. Get that one, definitely, and that one. These 3 important ones for getting your prestige up. And do the daily quest stuff. Again, that'll boost it up as well. So there you go. Hopefully that's covered most of it, and hopefully that's been of some use to people.